Hi friends, today we're going to be talking about solving inequalities, particularly one-step inequalities, multiplying and dividing. Take a moment, go ahead and pause and write these questions down, and then we'll go from there. All right, for looking at number 1, we're dividing here. X divided by 12 is greater than 2. Now here's a hint. Here's our greater than symbol. Here's our less than symbol. If you'll notice, that less than looks like it's an L. So that's how I remember that's the less than. Now, so we have x divided by 12 is greater than 2. We're dividing here, and the opposite of divide is multiply. So we're going to multiply both sides by 12. If you do it to one side, you got to do it to the other. So now what I have is x is greater than 24. Okay, now we are going to draw this out on a number line, and we're going to put 24 in the middle, and then put one number on either side. So 25 and 23. Okay, there's no equal sign under that 20 or under that greater than symbol, so it's going to be an open circle. If there was an equals then, you would put a closed circle. And do you see how the arrow is pointing this way? That's the way we're going to be shading. So we're going to shade in that direction. Okay, for this next one over here, we're multiplying negative 20 times x, and the opposite of multiply is divide. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 20. Now, when you multiply or divide by a negative number, you must remember to flip your sign. So these negative 20s cancel out. We get x. It was less than, so we need to flip it to make it greater than negative 7. These guys lob off, and I get positive divided by a negative is a negative, and 14 divided by 2 is 7. All right, so now I'm going to put that guy right in the middle, so we get negative 7. Give it some context, so we'll say negative 6, negative 8. And it's going to be an open circle because there's no equal sign there. And the arrow is pointing this way. So we're going to draw it that way. Okay, I wrote this one out like this, but I actually want you to change it up. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to say negative 8, and see how the alligator's opening to negative 8? We're going to flip it around. Greater than or equal to 4 over m, because I want to show you what happens when we have the variable on the other side. All right, so to solve for the variable on this side, we're multiplying, and the opposite of multiply is divide. Divide by 4, divide by 4, okay? That gives me negative 8 divided by 4 is negative 2 is greater than or equal to m. Now, when it shows up like this, it's a really good habit to get into. Flip that around. So we're going to write m, negative 2, and you see how the alligator's opening to the negative 2? That means we got to flip it. Now we're ready to graph it. Don't try to graph it when it's in this order because it gets a little bit confusing. So we draw out our line, we put our negative 2. This gives us negative 1. This gives us negative 3. This time it's going to be a closed circle on negative 2. And now that we've written it correctly, you'll see that the arrow is pointing to the left. So we're going to be shading to the left. Perfect. All right, let's try one more. This guy right here we're dividing. The opposite of divide is multiply. So I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 3. Now, remember, I'm multiplying by a negative, so we need to flip. R is less than negative 12. Put out my negative 12 here. This is going to be negative 11 because I'm going up, and this is going down, so it's negative 13. All right, open circle on negative 12 because there's no equal sign. And then you'll see that the arrow is pointing to the left, so I'm going to go right here to the left. Awesome. If you have any questions, let your teacher know. Otherwise, we will see you next time.